In today's video, I'm going to be playing 5 of the worst PS3 games I could find. These games range from a pretty average 46 right down to a very disappointing 22, and I'm going to be attempting to platinum every single one, starting with Tony Hawk Ride. So welcome to the foot cam, W socks. This was reviewed very badly when it came out all those years ago. Jeez. Comes with a dongle. The seller sent it to me and it was like fucked. It's so bad, look. It's falling apart basically. Oh my god, it is falling apart. Holy shit. Anyway, this is the setup, so let's get into it. Now, Tony Hawk Ride was meant to be this amazing gripping experience that makes you feel like you're using a skateboard. Tony Hawk himself was actually pretty supportive of the game, and it really seemed like he wanted this product to succeed. But as we very clearly know, this didn't go to plan. I think the main problem this game had going for it was that the entry fee to even own this incredible product was £100, and adjusting for inflation we see pretty much all the time, this becomes £153 for a skateboard game. Now, I managed to grab this for 40 quid, so I guess people should have waited 15 years before checking this one out. I'm definitely glad I did, because I was instantly hit with connection issues between my controller and my PS3. After multiple attempts, it did finally connect and we moved on to the game. My initial thoughts on this game were actually pretty good. The idea behind this game is kind of fire, and with it being 15 years old, you gotta cut it some slack for being a tad janky when it comes to the sensors. Although I could only really hold my patience for so long, as the trophy successful Matador would really ruin my overall opinion on this game. Actually, physically, with my fucking hand, I'm holding the back of the door. Right now, however, I was still trying to get the grits with the sensors on the skateboard. Moving my foot past the side sensor pushes my character in the game. Doing a quick flick results in an ollie, and doing an ollie plus a tilt results in a tilt trick. These are all very simple actions that do work surprisingly well in the game, but after beating the tutorial for a trophy, ready to roll. Oh my flipping god. The reality of this game settled in. As I was introduced to the story mode, they decided to call Road Trip. This story mode takes you through multiple locations around the world, starting from a nobody and eventually going pro.
Can you believe it?
You know, your bog standard kind of skateboard game, but with the addition of standing up for 10 hours a day on a solid piece of plastic. And while we're on the topic of this solid piece of plastic, please get me in touch with whoever designed this board, because it's uncomfortable as fuck. I tried wearing slippers, putting my Simpsons hit and run rug underneath for cushioning, and even at times getting down on the floor and using my hands. This board ruined the soles of my feet, and after earning the platinum for this game, I don't think I'll ever boot this game up again because of the pain it put me through. Back to the story mode though, the way it works is on a point system. If you place top 3 on the leaderboard after beating a mission, you will be rewarded a certain amount of points that I'm going to call location points. If you get enough location points, you can then move on to the next location and basically repeat this again and again until reaching the final mission of the game. So now that you're all caught up to speed, let's actually do that. The first area of this game is called Southern California, and it's pretty early on in this area that we unlock the trophy for doing a 400-foot manual. After this, we are introduced to the half-pipe missions, and the reality of this game settled in as my feet were already starting to hurt quite a bit. It didn't take long for my knees to start hurting too, as my bedroom floor is pretty much solid concrete with laminate flooring on top. Consistently pulling ollies and flip tricks before slamming the board into the ground was a really bad mix for a 10-hour Tony Hawk ride shift, but I persisted. The half-pipe missions are also one of the only real missions where you need to perform different tricks in order to gain points, and this was actually horrible. The board doesn't work at all for doing these set tricks, and after ruining my ankles trying to get unique tricks in succession, I resorted to just spinning and doing whatever, somehow doing 10k worth of points in grabs for a trophy. And then, in true skateboard game fashion, we finish the chapter off with some kind of real-life sponsored event. This one is surprisingly sponsored by Vans, so I'm not too sure they understood what Tony Hawk game they were chucking their money into, but regardless, all I had to do was beat the mission for the trophy.
Hitting a nollie.
Come on. And again.
Where are we going, bro?
What?
Oh my god!
Failed. Cool. There we go, all for one. Honestly, that's shambles, isn't it? I don't know how I got the trophy for that. There's a few other mission types in this game, like speed sessions and trick sessions, but the only other one I really feel needs to be mentioned are challenge sessions. Pretty much take the half-pipe missions and multiply it by 10, because these missions require you to perform the exact trick stated back to back before moving on to the next challenge with 4 challenges per mission. This meant that if the board decided not to perform the trick I very clearly did do, the challenge would end and restart me right back at the beginning. If you thought this was bad, the successful Matador trophy requires me to do the hardest challenge in the game without bailing once. But before we could attempt this though, I decided to do a quick cleanup on some of the trophies I knew I could get done relatively fast. Like Monumental Task for activating signature moment during a challenge session, which is basically just a score multiplier. There we go, Monumental Task. Quick Style for using signature moment within 20 seconds of the level start, which quite literally required me to perform several unique tricks back to back on the goated half-pipe missions I absolutely love. Nice, Quick Style. And then Heavy Lifting, which is honestly one of my favorite trophies in the game, as all I had to do was put my hand out in front of the sensor for 10 inverts in a row. Now, of course, there's multiple other miscellaneous trophies I could go through, but I think it's finally time we attempt the one I was dreading the most, Successful Matador. If I knew this trophy was a thing beforehand, I probably wouldn't have even dropped my money on the game. It's a genuinely unfair and stupid trophy that had to have been placed in the game just to take the piss, as I can't picture anyone over on the dev team actually enjoying themselves one bit while attempting this. This fucking game, bro. The official description states to complete all Barcelona challenges without bailing. And luckily for me, Barcelona's challenge sessions had 5 whole levels to get through without bailing a single time. That's a grab. I'm done. I'm actually done. I don't know I actually don't know what I'm meant to do. Yeah, so this was literally challenge 1 and I was already having a hard time. Now it seems the devs were somewhat sympathetic as you're allowed to attempt these challenges in any order. Maybe they knew this was hard going from 1 to 5, or maybe they just thought, fuck it, it's either that or the platinum is unobtainable. I practiced these levels over and over again for the following few hours, trying to master each one and figuring out what my order of approach would be, until finally I had my order. I would attempt challenge 2 first because that one needed to be done without me on the board due to how stupid the requirements are. You have to advance grab over this wall, which means covering both the front and back sensors while doing an ollie. Then you have to grind 3 times in a row without falling off, and making sure each grind is different from the last, which in my opinion is practically impossible without using your hands. Okay. We're cooking. Up next was challenge 4, which was equally as hard, but just about doable on the board because the advanced flip trick is something my brain could only process when using my feet. You have to hit a 360 flip, which means covering the back sensor while flipping your board.
Oh, that was it.
Then grind back-to-back rails without falling off.
Oh my god, okay.
And then hit a spine transfer while doing a flip trick.
That was it.
Oh my god. With 2 of the 5 challenges down, this was the furthest I had ever got, and it was actually starting to feel possible. Could I get this done, or would I be stuck on this challenge for hours upon hours? I decided to attempt challenge 5 next, as it was pretty hard, but also had little room for bailing since there was such an open space. The hardest part of this challenge was ollieing off the grind onto the opposite side of the wall, because you have to tilt the board and lift up at the same time, which is actually impossible unless you have something to balance on.
That's it. Hover over. Nice. We've done the hardest ones, 2, 4, and 5. So 3 is up next because 1 is the easiest, I believe. Okay. Ollie to manual. Oh, okay, that's scary. Oh, we did it. Oh my god.
After completing challenge 3 on literally my 3rd attempt ever, it was time to face the final challenge for this trophy. If I bail right here, the run would be over, and I would have to attempt this entire thing right from the beginning. But if I somehow managed to pull it off, I would be one step closer to that platinum trophy.
Okay, grab and then grind, manual grind. Okay, that was very close to a bail. That might have honestly been a bail. Fuck. That might have been a bail. That's all of them, but it might have been a bail. Oh my god.
Yes! Oh my god, let's fucking go! Yo, that's a hard trophy. That is a hard trophy, holy shit. With the hardest trophy of this game complete, it was time to finish up the easy playthrough before moving on to hardcore. And what better way to do this than with a game of Skate?
Oh, game of Skate, you're taking the flipping piss.
An entire mission dedicated to replicating tricks performed by an AI. I mean, what could really go wrong? Everything. everything could go wrong. Most of the tricks being required were completely out of my skill range, and even if I could do them, they wouldn't work anyways. So my only hope was to sit through multiple back and forth attempts between me and the AI, just hoping that he would slip up enough times to net me the trophy.
Yeah. New city though, there should be Tokyo trophy. There we go. Don't be nervous.
With Tokyo unlocked, we are officially pro status and invited to the Boom X2 show.
Can you believe it?
This show is just one long wacky mission that has you playing rock, paper, scissors, skating through a miniature city, and grinding over these 3 rails right at the end of the level, which definitely wouldn't cause a problem when attempting this mission without bailing for the trophy, the chosen one.
It's like a lean move, like on the edge, like here, just like this, and then we go. What the flip? Like, I'm literally leaning on my board, bro. Someone said, for the record, I'd kept very calm when playing this awful game up until this point, but the pipe section had me throwing my board around the room.
I don't know why this game decided it would be funny to chuck one last hurdle right before the end of the game, but it really did keep me from completing the level.
You want to tilt and jump. Tilt and jump. Tilt and jump. Oh my god.
What? What?
Tilt and jump. Are you actually joking? It actually doesn't even lock on. There's no way this is like, they passed this game. There's no way they were like, this is fire. There's no way. Leaning left, jump. Okay, leaning right, jump. Okay, leaning right, jump. Okay, on the right side again. Oh! Oh my god! Bro, the FPS is going crazy in here. What the hell? That's it. Okay. Is that the trophy? Yes! Yeah, chuck that board away, bro. I don't need that. That's the game finished then. Now I've just got to play the whole game again in hardcore.
The main difference between easy and hardcore is that you have to steer the character yourself. This means that along with trying to land tricks properly, I now had to actually tilt my board in the direction I wanted to go, which made things a billion times harder. Unsurprisingly, this second playthrough was exactly the same as before, but what I will say is that they increased the difficulty on the skate game mode, which held me back for an entire hour, patiently waiting for any normal tricks I could perform that didn't have unrealistic expectations on a board they knew was awful.
Okay, just don't get that. Don't get it. Yes, let's flipping go. There we go. Game show awaits. And there we go. It's showtime. I thought it wasn't going to pop then.
The last 2 trophies for the Platinum were local multiplayer trophies. The idea behind these trophies is to have a group of people in your room and pass the board around to each other, which actually sounds kind of fun if I had friends to play with. Instead, I just sat on the floor for 30 minutes, playing as 5 different people in the skate game mode for the trophy Spelling Bee.
There we go. Spelling Bee. That wasn't that bad, but it's a bit of a boring grind, like just Satiire.
And then rematch myself 10 times in a row for that well-deserved ultra-rare Platinum trophy.
Oh, there we go. Platinum trophy. I'm glad that's over, man. I'm very much glad that's over.
To rank this game using my own score system, I think I would give it a solid 40. It's probably a good laugh if you bring some friends over for an hour or so, but standing for hours upon hours on this rock solid board has forever damaged my feet, so maybe I'll drop it down to a nice 35. With the first game crossed off the list, it was time to head into a game that sits nicely and very undeservedly at a 41. Now, throughout my multiple playthroughs of bad games on this channel, there's never been a game that's actually made me want to give up, but this really did change with Iron Man 2. I don't know how or why this sits so highly up on the list, and if the reviewers actually sat down and played the game for more than half an hour, this would probably be a mid-30s stinker.
I'm Iron Man.
That's Tony Bark, bro.
After a quick recap from the man himself, we are thrown into present day where Iron Man has been hit by an EMP. It takes a few seconds, but he eventually shakes it off, allowing us to move around for the first time.
No way, we got that fucking like... I'm not even joking, that's my alarm clock, bro. My god, this noise is making me wake up.
It didn't take long before the tutorial was complete and the first trophy of this amazing game popped.
Oh, shake it off. First trophy. Lovely.
After attempting to defend this tower from Roxxon and failing, we are chucked into a mission where we need to defend these shield helicopters through this canyon. To be fair, it was kind of fun to fly around here until I realized the game limits you to the immediate area, and the illusion of flight was very quickly broken. Minus all the beautiful graphics, this is just your generic escort mission that lasts for way longer than it should, and I was already starting to feel the bad review beaming through my screen.
I'm not gonna lie, from the first like half hour I played this game, it's actually it's terrible.
Damn it! Fury to outflank combat air support.
It wasn't long before we ran into our first Arminger. This is pretty much the only enemy type in the game because for some reason, the devs decided that they loved this design so much that they spawned these guys in whenever they wanted. On easy, the Armingers pose no real threat.
I'm stuck. I'm stuck, what the hell?
But on formidable difficulty, that was when things would take a turn for the worst. For now though, I continued through this fun mission to eventually earn 2 trophies.
Battle Rush, totally gone. Good work.
Hey, you're Tony Stark, right?
Bro, the FPS drop, man. Like the frame drops is so bad.
Advanced idea mechanics.
According to this, they're building Comrade Shadowloff an armored suit. The Crimson Dynamo? Shadowloff's got a remote energy source capable of powering it too. Jarvis, prep the armor base. Let's be awesome.
Let's be awesome.
After Iron Man figures out where the main bad guys are located, we go on a ruthless game-ending spree on these robots in order to destroy the Tesla reactor and escape in one piece.
I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to do some like cool action movie sequence where I'm escaping just before it blows up, but the controls are just so bad. I can't even see where I'm going. Might be a bit too early to say exactly how I feel, but it sounds right now this game isn't funny bad at all. The game is just bad.
The reason we were destroying yet another Arminger is because we had to save Natasha, or Black Widow, from the enemies holding her hostage. After doing so, we somehow get into the first boss fight of the game without any real build up as to why.
What the hell?
This fight was not fun, and it was mainly down to the fact that the boss can hit you from pretty much anywhere and deal a stupid amount of damage without you being able to do much at all.
Pressing circle. Can you hear that? Can you hear me spamming circle and I'm just not dodging, bro? I don't know what I'm fucking meant to do, mate. I'm literally pressing circle. Okay, cool.
To combat this, I just hid behind the pillar and hope for the best, taking my shots whenever I could and lowering his health very slowly.
Just stay there, just don't move. Come on.
Stupid Americans. This was never your war.
Hey, shut up. We just want to know about your relationship with AIM.
This guy tells us that AIM has stolen Jarvis for their own projects, nicknaming it Ultimo. But before we could really get any more information, he just logs out of the world.
I am not. I am.
Okay. Soft thing ever.
Nice power outage.
Jarvis being stolen is obviously pretty bad news, and I'm still a bit unsure how someone of Tony Stark's status could have allowed this to happen in the first place. But either way, it turns out AIM has already progressed way beyond anything imaginable, creating the first fully self-repairing suit of armor.
Let there be light.
Sir, Dr. DeWitt, can you hear me? Are you all right?
I am.
What the hell?
This was enough for Iron Man to finally go out and stop this once and for all. So we reach the AIM facility and take out everyone in our path, which leads to our first interaction with these new self-repairing suits. And sorry to burst your bubble if you had any real hope of an epic fight, because this was over before it even started.
If that kills him instantly, that was a pretty fast way to end the boss fight, to be fair. W boss fight, man.
Sir, wait.
Damn it.
The hell? That explosion was way too big. Rhodey, Jarvis, I'm not reading any vitals.
Fury to all points. Prep the med lab. Infield armor is
Yeah,
the
he's
heavy
yapping.
lifters in here for
Good morning, Maker. I am Ultimo.
double time it, people. We've got casualties.
I know
What is
everything
going on,
and
bro?
everyone.
I just hope this game doesn't end, mate. I really hope this game doesn't end. How is he just alive now, bro? What the hell? He was literally just on the floor
Anomaly
dying.
detected.
Oh, there's loads of them. What the hell?
After dropping Pepper somewhere off safe and definitely not on the wing of a jet, we are tasked with defending the shield helicarrier as it is being swarmed by a massive group of enemies. I think this has to have been a one big filler mission, as all I did for 10 minutes of my life was fly around and hold R2. You know the saying, that's 10 minutes of my life I'll never get back? Well, this entire game was 15 hours of my life I'll never be seeing again. It was definitely worth it though when 3 trophies popped for completing this mission.
Can that please be the end of the mission? Yes. Oh, and Mark 3.
As you might recognize from earlier, this is the mission I lost my PS3 controller on. But that situation wouldn't be until later on, as right now we were still on easy and this was a walk in the park. After taking the Arminger down, Tony programs it to be on our side, which is super convenient since we would be using it in the next mission.
And as you just said, some important things are immune to earthquakes. So, if you won't be weaponizing the ground, you'd weaponize
The sky.
Green grid.
another gold star for our CEO, ladies and gentlemen.
With AIM now targeting Green Grid, a Stark Industries grid that can control the weather, it was our job to stop them before they could create a massive tornado and eliminate all of us. I made my way through heaps and heaps of enemies, being sure to protect the Arminger as I went for the trophy Guardian. We eventually make it to the relays after almost 20 minutes of the classic escort mission. I managed to shut these relays down without getting interrupted, which did earn me a trophy alongside the no repair and story trophies.
I should get switchboard operator there and Guardian. Nice, Guardian. Yes. Okay, final mission of the game. Let's get this shit over and done with, man.
The final mission was an epic showdown between the goats and Ultimo, or at least I hoped it was. Instead, we got this very boring and super unresponsive boss fight that would have probably blown my mind if I was still 8 years old. The idea of this fight is to shoot the arc reactors scattered around Ultimo before ripping them out to deal some damage. However, because this game is just so amazing, this feature hardly works. Ultimo is so big that you can never really get close enough to pull these things out, and when you do get close enough, the game doesn't respond in time, and then before you know it, Ultimo has moved again.
I'm here, I'm pressing circle, I'm here. Oh god.
Once pulling them all out, the game is meant to give you control of Iron Man, but instead, I was just stuck in limbo with no prompts to do anything.
Keep moving. Stagger them good, T. You got the ball.
Rhodey, I love you.
What was the point then? I was just roaming around for what? This fucking game.
With Iron Man inside the machine, we actually get to fight Ultimo one-on-one, and long story short, we lost.
Rapidly.
Can we save him?
No, sir. Biological scans show irreversible protein integration.
I've got you. Don't worry.
Life support systems at 6%.
Tony, what are you doing?
Winning!
Tony, it's me, Pepper. Please don't
Hey, Pep, bad time!
Life support systems at 0.3%.
Doc, you're going to kill you.
Shut up!
Tony!
What is this game, bro? We take back control as War Machine to deliver the final blow to this breathtaking story.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, how did Iron Man just escape when he was on like 0.3% life support? What?
Good.
Yes.
Once upon a time,
Cool.
I didn't know how. Once upon a time, I didn't know how to save the world.
Oh, I'm so flipping glad to see that credit list. And the sad thing is we're not even done yet, so.
And to be fair, I was right. The game has a stupidly large amount of miscellaneous trophies, from mission specific to weapon eliminations. And while some caused me a lot of stress, some were relatively easy. Like this one for beating all the dropships before they can deploy their drones.
Copy that.
There we go, not in my house.
Or this one for defeating 100 enemies using War Machine's minigun. But alongside all the fun I was truly having with this incredible game, lied the reality and sadness I was actually facing.
Let me out the fucking building, mate. This is actually a bad game. Like, it's not funny bad, it's not, you know, I could let it slide. This is a bad game. It's a shit game. I don't know how it passed any form of requirements. It's crap.
After surviving such a hard area, it was time to attempt the trophy Anger Management, which is actually pretty fitting when you think about it. The trophy requires you to destroy most of the structures in this base, and I mean, who decided to make this a trophy? Who sat there in the offices and was like, yeah, let's just get all the trophy hunters to waste 30 minutes of their life flying around destroying fences and roof panels? Because trust me, it was not fun.
Oh, come on already, man. What the fuck? Anger management. That's such a stupid miscellaneous trophy. I feel like definitely they just chucked that in just to take the piss.
And if you thought I'd catch a break, well, you'd be wrong, because up next was this mission. I think this is honestly where my hate for the Arminger really comes from, because this mission is terrible. The task at hand is to defeat the machine before the helicarrier is destroyed, and due to a mix of multiple things, like the machine having way too much health, my weapons being way too weak, and also the waves of enemies that lock onto you no matter what you do, almost every single attempt would result in either me dying or the Arminger destroying the helicarrier before I was anywhere close to defeating it myself. And this situation repeated over and over and over again. But after breaking my controller and getting that post-anger sadness and regret, I locked in and showed the Arminger who runs this crap 2010 movie tie-in game.
Yes, please. Is that the... Oh, let's fuck go. Oh my god, that was the worst mission I've ever done in my entire life. This game is trash.
It's crazy because this mission doesn't even give you a trophy, so I had to wait until I beat Chapter 7 as War Machine to get that dopamine boost. And then I faced Ultimo one final time to complete this terrible difficulty once and for all.
Are we done? Iron Man, Invincible. What a flipping game.
What a shit flipping game.
Leon?
That's what I think.
Good.
Get out of here, Tony Stark.
With pretty much all the mission-specific trophies wrapped up, it was time to face the weapon trophies. This long and tedious list of trophies requires 750 eliminations. Now, as much as I was dying to give this game one more shot, I stumbled across a method to get this done extremely fast. All I had to do was load up mission 4, trigger all the lasers on my way down, defeat them all, and then continue through until taking down the turrets on the wall before restarting the mission. Rinsing this over and over again unlocked literally every weapon trophy I needed in around 2 hours of playtime. So the only thing standing between me and ejecting this game from my PS3 to spend the rest of its life on my shelf were 4 trophies: Unnecessary Force, Area Secured, Silver Centurion, and Hall of Armors.
Alrighty. First trophy is to find this guy right here and just beam him like this. There we go. Bro got destroyed. There we go, Unnecessary Force, cool.
Area Secured is also earned in the same area too, and requires you to keep 10 soldiers alive during the entire mission. Believe it or not, this should have been the Platinum Trophy, because Silver Centurion is just another suit you unlock while progressing through the game. I unlocked every other suit perfectly fine, but this one didn't unlock first time around.
If this isn't the trophy, I don't know what the hell I'm meant to do. Like, actually, no clue. Damn, what am I meant to do? Oh, let's flipping go! Yeah, let's go. Hall of Armors and Platinum. Okay, I don't care, bro. What a genuinely bad game. The people that actually bought this game on release, I feel for you, man. I feel really bad because this game is so bad.
Giving the game a ranking from myself, it's easily low 30s, maybe even dead on 30. It's not fun, and it's really not a game I'd ever recommend to anyone, even if you're a die-hard Iron Man fan. Dropping down almost 10 points from Iron Man, we have our next game at a score of 32. This game is rated as one of the worst PS3 exclusives ever made, easily passable as a PS2 game, and has physical versions floating around on eBay for over $120. The game is known as Magus, and I can tell you right now that is basically PS3's Orc Slayer.
Why is he just like T-posing for? What is that?
The game starts in what I believe is a dungeon, as we are greeted by this person called Kinner. We speak for way too long, but do end up getting a trophy out of it, so I guess it was worth the time.
Located. Oh, Army of One. He low-key is moving like Gollum, I'm not gonna lie. What is this? What is this fucking menu, bro?
It isn't long before we run into our first boss. Now, these boss battles are far from perfect, and from what I can tell, they're a pretty big waste of time. It always starts with a conversation, with the illusion of choice being given to you straight away. This would always result in a fight, no matter what dialogue you pick, and I can only narrow this down to lazy game design, as they probably couldn't be asked to implement an actual choice system. The only use these fights have, in my opinion, is that most of them pop a trophy for wasting your time.
What is this, man? Why do you just film in the middle? I'm sick of these flipping guys, man.
No one was supposed to be allowed out for another day.
Where's the dialogue option?
I assassinated the king's heir.
What? Why?
I don't know.
Eventually, we reach this area called the Tower of Gods and run into this guy.
Welcome back, Master.
What?
Please forgive me, Master.
Stand there and don't defend yourself. Wait, what? Why have I actually got to kill him? I guess stand there and don't defend yourself.
Master, what are you doing?
Why am I killing them? What the hell? What's he on? Okay, I don't even know what's going on anymore, man. Dead or Rise. This area acts as the hub for all future missions, and by all future missions, I mean 5 pretty much identical walking simulators. It was at this point that I just slapped on a couple episodes of Breaking Bad.
Been seeming sus lately.
Because I swear I was going insane, walking around these bland environments for seemingly no reason. I thought maybe the trophy grind would cheer things up a bit, but most of the trophies are just for doing the same thing. There's 8 trophies related to 100 eliminations of each enemy type, and this happened pretty passively while going for the trophy Conqueror for defeating 1,000 enemies overall. Another 3 trophies can be earned for reaching level 10, 20, and 30. And then even after these 11 trophies are done, there's an additional 6 for completing every single map this game generously offers to the player. With 17 completely pointless trophies to my name, I was all of a sudden fighting the Queen. The Queen of what exactly? I have no clue. In true Mage's boss fight style, this was nothing hard at all. In fact, I just stood there beaming magic onto the Queen until she admits defeat and we walk off together, wrapping up one of the best games I've ever played in my entire life. Damn. W game. W game. The Queen is dead. What a good use of my time, man. Unfortunately, we weren't done with the platinum just yet, so I turned Breaking Bad back on and got to work.
I am not in danger, Skylar. I am the danger.
The main trophies to look out for here are skill-related trophies, as if you don't abuse the save feature, this can cost you another playthrough or 2, which sounded so fun and something I was really looking forward to. All you have to do here is spend your skill points leveling up the skill tree, and this will pop the skill tree's trophy. There we go, blue meanie. Then you definitely don't reload your save and do this again for the other 2 skill trees, their specific trophies as well. Green with envy. There we go. I also figured out here that you can buy chroma skills. These are abilities that last way longer than they should and honestly change the game up quite a bit. Meow. Abracadabra. Okay, I wish I figured this out earlier. What the hell? Even though I could run through this entire game within a few minutes, it didn't solve the fact that this game has no collectible counter whatsoever. It was like I was given something actually pretty cool to distract me from the fact that this game is just a pile of shit. The lack of a collectible counter made these last 2 trophies way harder than they needed to be, as I had to collect 500 items and then 100 health potions. To get the 500 items, I had to replay the final mission for 40 minutes straight, as the enemies here log out of the world fairly easily and drop items at a pretty fast rate. Mixing this with the basically unlimited speed boost I should have purchased at the start of the game eventually got me the trophy I needed. Scavenger! The longest part of this game is out of the way. Health potions weren't that big of a pain though, as it's fairly easy to collect all 100 of these in the tutorial area. So I started a new game and did exactly that. Oh, there we go. Perfection. Done with this flipping game. Putting this alongside the other games we've played so far, I think we can put this as the first sub 30 scoring game. Let's say 22. It's boring, it's bland, and most of all, it's $120 if I ever wanted to get this physically, which does suck as I've been trying to grow my bad game collection since making these videos. You know, that shit would play right when Shrek's about to come on. I cannot wait to play this game, actually. Oh my fucking god.
Choices. Life is full of choices.
Very close to the 32 that Mage has got lies Kung Fu Panda 2 at 31. It's safe to say, I do love me a bit of Kung Fu Panda. The movies are amazing and the quotes that get said throughout are just incredible.
Noodles. Don't noodles.
So honestly, I was willing to give the game a bit more slack than usual and jumped in pretty excited. The game is set immediately after the events of Kung Fu Panda 2, where Shen got obliterated with one of the coldest scenes in the movie. Because Shen was no longer in charge, all the people working for him decided to try their luck at taking over Gongmen City. And this is when we see a rise in 3 different enemy types. The wolves with their wolf leader, the gorillas with their armored gorilla leader, and the Komodo dragons with Zhao Dan. Now, if it wasn't obvious just from that, then Zhao Dan is the most important leader here, since he was actually given a name unlike the other 2. With Gongmen City under threat from these 3 leaders, we team up with the Kung Fu Masters.
Master Croc, Master Ox, and of course, the GOAT, Master Shifu. We get to choose who we'd like to go with here, as each master is trying to take down a different leader. I went with Croc, and therefore started Croc's storyline at the docks, as he's trying to take down the wolf leader.
You? You?
It wasn't long before we meet up with Tigress and receive a boost over this locked door.
Nah, I got it all handled. It's all good.
Oh, claws of courage. So if you didn't catch it right in that moment, these trophies, for seemingly no reason, are all just PNGs of the characters T-posing. I don't know why they decided to do this, but it's honestly one of the funniest things I've ever seen an official game do with their trophies. The only trophies that don't do this are the collectible trophies, which brings me on to my next point. Over 1,800 collectibles are scattered around the 3 storylines in this game. These consist of gold, iron, and silver, which can be found when breaking boxes or just lying on the floor in certain corners. If you break a box and forget to pick the metal up off the ground, there's a good chance that metal will despawn when you leave the area, and it's impossible to get that back. With the thought of this in the back of my mind, I continued through Croc's storyline, being sure to collect everything as I went before running into the wolf leader for the first time.
All right, you'll have to answer for your crimes to the Kung Fu Council.
Held into the harbor.
Please! I have to... What's that?
Where?
Distract you! Ha! They old look over there trick!
It was at this point that I also realized there was another collectible type in this game that is specific to the person you're with. Croc has 7 jade statuettes, Shifu has 8 pieces of armor, and Ox has 8 blades. So I focused up on the jade statuettes while continuing to grab the gold scattered around the area. Oh, there's a statue. Yeah. What is that for, exactly? It wasn't long before we are introduced to Croc's signature move, the Aki Punch. This is a technique that allows you to destroy structures with a single punch. According to Croc, there's a temple nearby that is housing the wolf leader, but he's not quite sure where it is and decides to enter into a deep meditation to find the answer.
Oh, I've uncovered the entire wolf operation.
Clean. Shh. Master Croc is meditating.
You have no idea how.
Why does he look like that, man? With more than enough enemies to defeat, I decided to attempt the trophy Master Croc for using Croc's Acupunch technique 10 times. With these elimination-specific trophies, you need to get them done as fast as you can because the game only has a limited amount of enemies during the game. If you defeat all the enemies without earning these trophies, another playthrough is required. We run into the wolf leader for the second time here, and Poe, being the goat he is, gets fooled once again.
Please! I have to... What's that?
Oh, what? No, wait, where?
Ha! You fell for the same trick!
So you know I mentioned the crazy amount of collectibles this game has to offer? Well, imagine if they decided to add another one just for fun. Yeah, these are called red symbols, and there's 10 of them to collect throughout the game. Fun.
The secret entrance to the temple is. It's here.
With Croc's meditation pulling through, we enter the water to reach the secret temple and instantly get bombarded with wolves. We run into the wolf leader again, but this time Poe would get the last laugh. Well, I guess technically it was Croc that drowned him, but we take the W's where we can.
You'll answer for your crimes to the Kung Fu Council! Look, what's that?
What?
Oh, bro. Oh, is he gonna die? But he can't swim. Not to bombard you with trophies, but I also found the last statuette here, making Croc's storyline pretty much complete. There we go. I decided to do Shifu's storyline next, and this is when I started to see probably the biggest problem this game has. The storylines are all the same thing. The new enemy type here is gorillas, but other than that, it's pretty much a reskin from Croc's section. You get trophies for eliminating more enemies,
This way. We need to
collecting more metals. You get the idea. We run into the first of 8 armor pieces before attempting the trophy Student of the Blade and Blade Master. These are for eliminating enemies with a weapon, and would it shock you to know that the game fails to mention weapons even exist? It wasn't until reading through the guide made by Metal Jaws that I realized these trophies can be missed since the enemies don't spawn back in.
Please let me in.
Mantis is the friend of choice for this section and explains that we need to defeat a few looters before taking out the big guy.
Thanks, Poe. Let's go find that gunpowder.
Long story short, Mantis gets captured and we head back to Shifu, who decides it's the best time to teach us his special technique, the Kung Fu Curl. With this new ability, we are able to roll through these little holes in the wall, which not only allows me to grab the 5th red symbol, but also lets me save Mantis from the wolves that are holding him ransom.
Whoa, what the flip?
Hey, thanks for finding me. I thought I'd be lost like forever.
Watch this. Kung Fu Curl!
Whoa, you got mad skills, Poe.
I think that's a trophy as well. Yeah.
We return back to the palace entrance and blow it up, which introduces us to the armored gorilla, a boss that quickly runs off just like the wolf leader did before.
No way.
We return to the village to face the armored gorilla in what would presumably be an epic battle to the death.
Oh, this guy's going down. And no armor, he's losing me. Get out of here.
My armor? You broke it. I'm gonna make you pay for that.
All the armor pieces, this is the last one.
There.
Yeah, tough work, man. Tough work.
So the third storyline with Master Ox was pretty much a combination of both storylines before, except this one has Komodo dragons as the enemy. We meet up with Monkey, who gets captured just like Mantis did moments ago.
Freedom! Wow. I was afraid I might smash you too. So was I.
Then, to force Ox's special ability into the game, they decide to block the location we were just in and make it so we have no other choice but to use Ox's ground pound in order to get through.
We were literally just in there, and what, they built a whole barricade and now we can't get through. Okay, oh, we get Thunder Strike here. Cool. It's all about centering your chi.
Practice your thunder strike on these trunks.
Okay, okay. Might be the coolest chi move so far. Student of Master Ox. Nice, nice, nice.
It's a couple of kung fu masters. Your skills won't help you here.
Oh,
Who the freak is that?
And who are you? Sorry I asked.
Why are they running away, bro?
We collect the final red symbol of the game, and then run into Zhao Dan, the Komodo dragon leader. Now, I don't think it takes a scientist to figure out what happens next, because you guessed it, he pulls the classic move and runs away, leaving us to fight the remaining enemies with no help from the Furious Five. We do get a trophy for escaping though, so I can only complain so much.
Oh yeah, Master Ox just appears out of nowhere. Cool. This is the last blade. Trophy should pop as well. There we go. Now serving justice, which means we're actually really close to the platinum, actually. Honestly, this has not been a bad game. I'm not even gonna lie, I've kind of enjoyed this one.
After pushing through the 3 different storylines, I was hoping to be done with the game. But of course, the game had one final section up its sleeve, the Undercity. This is where Zhao Dan has set up camp and where the end of the game will take place. So while making my way over there, I made sure to break 10 shields with Master Ox's special ability.
Trophy, please. There we go, Master Ox, cool.
And removed a total of 64 Komodo dragons for a nice little reward. I was kind of excited to reach the end of the game, but that excitement was short-lived when the game pulled one final kidnapping.
This way.
We head to the Undercity, which was right under my nose the entire time, being inside this dragon's mouth. It's a pretty cool area and holds the final metals which we need to platinum this game. But first, let's save Viper.
Skadoosh. No, it's Viper! Bro, this whole entire last section of the game has been such a flipping snooze fest, man.
Plug.
Crazy character model, did you see that?
With Viper now back on the team, we are boosted up to the final fight against Zhao Dan, and honestly, it was a piece of cake.
Huh? Skadoosh. Get down here and fight me like a man. But he's dead. Oh, finally. Flipping finally. Demolish the dragon. Oh shit, we've got like an actual cutscene. This is a movie cutscene.
Huh? Did you see Gray? With such a smooth 60 FPS cutscene keeping me entertained, I forgot all about the metal trophies. You know, the ones that have a very high possibility to be glitched. This was probably the worst thing that could have happened to me since I had already searched the game over twice before going into the final boss in case there was no post-game available. I tried not to panic as I searched every corner of the map for a third time in case I missed something beforehand, and after reaching the end of Shifu's path, That was exactly what happened. Well, for the steel anyways. Oh, ridiculously awesome. That's for steel, that is. So we literally need 5 iron and we need 5 gold. Flipping out. Even though I only needed 10 more pieces of metal, those 10 pieces never showed up. I searched the entire map 2 more times in hopes I wouldn't have to repeat this entire game again, but it was no use. Before restarting, I decided to look on Google to see if anyone had a solution to this problem, and to my honest surprise, an interaction on GameSpot popped up from over 12 years ago, discussing this exact situation. In the post, Siphon Filter 2 lists all the commonly missed gold spots that a lot of people failed to find on their first attempt. Oh, there it is. Oh my god. Bro, this fucking guide is clutch, man. What the hell? Siphon Filter 2. If you're still around 12 years later, you're a flipping goat, mate. You are a flipping goat. The only thing standing between me and the platinum was 5 pieces of iron. So I decided to do one final search around the entire map. I searched every area, every room, every corner, and even went through every curl hole just to make sure I didn't miss anything. But after another 50-minute search, it felt like the possibility of restarting was just getting closer and closer. Oh. Yes. This is it. This is it. Yes, this is it. This is it. Oh my flipping god. What a flipping game. Platinum trophy. Let's flipping go, man. I didn't have to restart. I didn't have to do anything. I'm buzzing. Now, by no means was this game amazing, and it definitely has issues with performance and just the story in general. But I still can't understand how this game was rated any lower than Magus. And if anything, I'd be inclined to stick it just above Tony Hawk at a 38, while still leaving Magus all the way down there at 22. Speaking of 22, my hunt for the final bad game inevitably led me to Fast and Furious Showdown, another incredible movie tie-in game that was given a solid 22 and a user score of just 1.4, which in my opinion is very valid. Very, very valid. Oh, bro! This game is set between Fast 5 and Fast 6 with the intention to bridge the stories together. I like to think I'd give these games a chance before jumping straight on the hate train. So to be fair, I started this game with pretty high hopes. And that was the last time I'd be happy playing this game. There's 7 chapters to get through with 30 missions in total spread between them. So of course, we start with chapter 1 and unlock our first trophy pretty much instantly since this chapter only has 1 mission. Chapter 1 complete. Damn, easy. Chapter 2 also contains a single mission as well, with this one requiring you to rob a bank and drag the safe to, safety. Come on, baby.
Let's get this. It happens.
Once I hit chapter 3, it became pretty clear that this game was not the game I assumed it was going to be. I thought this would be an open world experience where you can accept missions on foot and drive around wherever you want. But instead, all these missions are linear, straight to the point, and the whole game felt like one big filler mission. The story, to put it lightly, was shit. What is this? And you'd think, surely if the story was so bad, they'd at least try and make it up with the level design or something. But it's pretty clear that this was not a thought that went through their minds. Whether I'm playing a race, an escape, an elimination, or some other random mission type, it was all placed on the same strip of road within that chapter and classed as a mission. It just felt really unfinished and rushed, which seems to be the case with a lot of movie tie-in games from this generation. I pushed through though, completing chapter 4, 5, and 6, before getting a nice little message from Mr. Sega's Hollywood.
Funny guy, man.
Chapter 7 was pretty much the beginning of the end when it came to the little enjoyment I was having with this game. They decided it was best to force you into a mission 7 minutes long with no real purpose whatsoever. It starts with you driving around this circular map for 3 minutes doing absolutely nothing, and when the enemies do decide to spawn in, you're required to steal this armored car and deliver it to the main building in the middle. But they don't let you get away that easily, because then you have to escape more enemies and reach the end without dying, which is crazy because if you do die here, you're forced to do the entire mission again. There was a few of these super long and pointless missions sprinkled throughout this game, which really made me excited moving forward. Chapter 8 had a pretty cool miscellaneous trophy to earn called Express Delivery. That changed the gameplay up from the norm and kind of woke me up from the disassociation I was in. To earn this one, you need to deliver all the boxes in the back of the truck in under 110 seconds. And the game structures this level in a way to make you fail after pretty much every corner. I would usually class this as one of those annoying trophies that take a little bit to earn, but honestly, the change in mission type was really nice to have. Unfortunately, there wouldn't be any more cool missions like this, and for the most part, the rest of the game was just the same stuff I've already shown off, but reskinned for the different chapters. With that being said, after completing Chapter 8 and Chapter 9, we can finally reach the last chapter of the game, the finale, the absolute pinnacle of this gripping story, something that will pull on my heartstrings and leave me crying in my bedroom. And so, I flipped the car twice without letting it touch the ground.
Nice, double flip.
And finished the level off to see just how this compelling story would end.
Wow, what a flipping super interesting mission. And that's the end of the game. There's no way that's the end of the game. There is no way that is the end of the game. That's crazy. That's crazy. What a W game. What a W game.
So with the main part of this game finished, what else is there to experience? Oh yeah, the challenges. These are pretty much story missions, but without the story aspect. So basically, these were story missions. There's a few new mission types here, like speed checks for going through speed cameras, or survival, where you need to survive for up to 6 minutes, which was made worse by the fact these challenge missions are just placed on the already rinsed story maps from before. Either way, I persisted through it all, completing challenge after challenge, but a few miscellaneous trophies on the side, like wrecking 500 enemies and eliminating enemies with every weapon. Before I knew it, I had forced myself through 7 challenges, which is pretty misleading since it's actually 24.
That's got to be at 7.6k. Give me that 8k. Yes! Should be another one as well. There we go. Solo challenge gold, which means we are on to the co-op missions. So it's only just started, mate. Let's be real.
Twice as fast, twice as furious is a trophy for beating the entire game again, but in co-op. Now, this co-op isn't online, it's local co-op. No worries, I can just control both vehicles myself and power through the game, right?
Out of range. You're actually joking, man.
So as it turns out, whoever made this game decided it would be in everyone's best interest to make these trophies only obtainable with 2 physical people. This meant that I literally had to find someone willing to sit through the entire game with me in my bedroom. But if you could believe it, it gets even worse, because the trophy Co-op Challenge Gold is, as you can probably guess, for beating every single challenge with someone else. So somehow, I now had to convince someone to play one of the worst PS3 games ever made for 10 solid hours while in split screen in my bedroom. After panicking for a bit and realizing this video might actually be over, I managed to convince
Epic Piss
to help me out in return for a Domino's pizza. With my newfound help, we made it through the story mode, making sure to grab all the trophies that I failed to get on my first playthrough because I wasn't trying to boot the story mode up for the 3rd time. After a good 6 or so hours of straight grinding these story missions to get them done ASAP, we made it to the final mission of the story mode, which, by the way, only rewards us with a single trophy. The entire game again, all 30 missions in split screen local co-op for one singular trophy. What can I say?
I'm never playing this again.
Riding high on the dopamine we just got from forcing ourselves through the story, we decided to knock the co-op challenges out of the way also, which surprisingly, or I guess unsurprisingly, were just the exact same challenges I had already done when doing it on solo.
Yeah. Co-op challenge gold. I'm leaving now. I ain't never speaking to you again.
Out of the few remaining miscellaneous trophies left, the worst one for sure was not a scratch. This trophy requires you to tow a car to the end of the level without damaging it, and I can't really see how this is possible. I would assume damage from the enemies is out of your control, but the cars on the road, walls, and the lampposts make this pretty much undoable. Now, I think I damaged the car multiple times on my final run, but the trophy unlocked anyways, so it was definitely glitched in my favor.
Oh, let's fucking go.
After drifting over 500 meters, we reached the final 2 trophies of the game: Experimental, which is for using all mods in the game, and Test Driver, which is for driving all the cars in the game. The reason I left these 2 until last was because they can easily be obtained together, providing you're willing to sink even more hours into this game. I didn't mention these mods because, other than a few cool ones like explosive bullets, they are pretty much useless and didn't get used much at all. However, while attempting the Test Driver trophy, you can also equip 3 mods per mission, which, as you can probably guess, resulted in that well-deserved ultra ultra rare platinum trophy. There we go, test driver. Completionist. Let's flipping go. What an extremely long platinum for what feels like probably the most boring game I've ever played in my life. With the final game done, I can say this one has a pretty valid Metacritic score. I think I'd probably drop it to a 20, but that's mainly just so the graph looks nice. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye!